Okay, that's very. Thank you very much for all of you. 20 people at this point. As I was mentioning before, it's the largest monthly awarded teams meeting. We've never had such an amazing crowd and attendance to this call. Um, of course, I would like also to welcome the newly entered round three awarded teams. We already have the round one and round two that are more used to this format of meeting. And by having new people, I would say that it's now we are going to start a new era, right? For all these iterations that we have with deep funding and also SingularityNet and another ecosystem spin-offs and etc. So I would like to start explaining a bit for those that are joining now what we are used to do in these calls as the message I sent to you. First, we are going to have a status report recorded from teams that are already developing something, including teams from round three as well. At this point, we have two that fill the form, but please, if you would like to, you are more than welcome, and by all means, do it. Just let me know, and we are going to record your status report on your work. I have to say that it's not mandatory to do it, but at the same time, I believe each team has this accountability to the community where we are going to record the video, edit the video internally, and then upload it in the portal in your details page, where people that voted for you or people that didn't vote but are interested in your project, they are going to understand what's your status and how are you going. From there, what we are going to start potentially next year, because we are so close to it, it's to generate also an impact report, right? This impact report will be driven and with the focus on telling the general community and ecosystem how your, thank you, Joanna, how your project is impacting the SingularityNet ecosystem, right? This is something that is different from the simple status report. With the status report, you are going to say how your project is doing, but with the impact report, we are going to generate KPIs to show in a more analytical way how to do it. And we are going to also use the reviewer circle, which we are going to talk a bit about it. And many of you already know. So yes, this is a very nice exercise for when the time arrives. Okay. After the status report, we mainly open the meeting for those that are willing to give feedback on the status reports or people that are willing to talk about their issues during their processes and get feedback from peers, which might solve the problem. We also open the opportunity for you to do. Basically, it's a time for us to mingle and understand and to now get to know each other and their projects. Okay. I have some bullet points in the sense of what we would be interesting to do, but I prefer, and normally it's what happens when the meeting goes more organically. People goes in the to talk about many issues and topics. So feel free. Okay, this space is for you guys. And again, after the status report, we are not going to record. So feel free to say. Feel free to say what's bad, what's good, right? That's the general idea. Is Kevin here from Sibyl? Kevin.
Hi.
Hey,
Yep, I'm
Kev.
here.
Kev, thank you so much for being here every month and mainly giving your status report for us. That's very important. Okay, thank you very much. And the floor is yours, my friend, please.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Um, so I'd like to give a status report for my 2 projects from Deep Founding Round 2. The first one is regarding Sybil, the general purpose forecaster. So I have about I think 8 or so milestones there. And I completed 4 of them. I'm currently working on the next 3. So the 5th one, which is AMP5, is about kind of deploying our current version of the forecaster onto like the SNet platform, and that's something that we're actually actively working on. And we are having we're receiving help from I think Robin's team, I think, who is contracted to help support SNet regarding getting the projects the projects onto the SNet platform. And I think they've been very, very helpful for us. For example, we just got our like we had our API integration from just open API to gRPC. Now we set up like etcd. Now the next step is to like work on that organization and actually test it between the like the service side and the client side in the Orly testnet. I think that's the next part. And then we're also working on another milestone for Sybil, which is AMP7. So we have developed the models there, the base models, which are like GPM and RN, but we're still doing testing to ensure we're still doing testing for like some because we found some kind of forecasting issues. For example, there's like some kind of jump in the testing, or so we're trying to understand what was causing that. So that is for Sybil. And then as for onboard new profit, we have developed the underlying service, which is an API, but we're also going to start to try to deploy that onto the testnet as well, or SNet platform. So that's kind of like the quick update for my 2 projects, Sybil and onboard new profit.
Okay, thank you, Kev. After the status report, I would love to have also, especially for the not only from you but from other previous teams that are doing this new projects process with the onboarding. I would love to have your insights for the new teams, right? How it's going. We know it's a challenge at this point. We understand this, that we are working very hard, but just as a heads up, I would like to you guys to kind of coach and drive what you would say that is best for the new teams to do in this sense. I mean, potentially mistakes were made and you can tell them how to avoid that. Okay, but thank you, Kev, for your status report. Yeah, Eric, please.
Yeah, I've postponed my integration as well quite for some time, and it's really time for me to do exactly the same. So I've got exactly the same pain points of converting from RPC to gRPC and integrating on testnet, etc. So Kevin, I would be really interested to have more discussion with you. But as just a heads up, how long did you take to do this integration so far, and how long do you think it's going to take more?
I think it's gonna take one at least a month or so. I think we're still like halfway there. Since right now we still need to test on the test net, and then I presume that in order, like, if we have a milestone that says that we need to deploy into SNet, it needs to be on the main net, right?
Yes.
Raphael? So there's also that part from converting from testnet onto the main net and the testing between. So in the Mattermost, we have I have created a channel. I think it's like called platform onboarding support. So if you're interested in also being, and then if you're also interested in being part of that discussion about how to get your project to be deployed to SNet, you're welcome to reach out to me, and then I can invite you and then add you to that channel, and we can have our discussion there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm trying to find here the link to the Mattermost. I guess it was shared yesterday, and then we can also share with the rest of the teams. But it's been kind of rough for me to do this type of situations because I have an issue here. But we are going to share with you, okay, guys, the link for all of you to have this. Kev, thank you again for this initiative, right? We have now Clement. Clement, please, with funding funnels, right? Let us know the status of your project.
Yes. Sorry, it's raining really heavy here, so I might get a little bit of background noise. So, well, I had two projects. The funding funnels and the AI for M, the malaria prediction AI. Now, as for the funding funnels, we have been able to start some very serious community engagements here. In my baseline, we have been able to gather, I think, over 110 young innovators who are, willing to take part in the pitch events, and we have been able to seek out for, certain venues, regional venues for the competition, and we're also looking at building social media platforms to virtual communities, so we can also have innovators from other parts of the world join us, because the aim is to engage persons within our community and outside our communities too, so we can also bring them into the SNet Singularity Net platform in future rounds. So so far we've had very successful preparations here, and we're looking at a power packed event. So we have obtained the necessary regulatory permissions to enable us host the events locally in my country, and then we are also looking at expanding it to ensure that other persons join. It's been successful on that end. And for the AI for M, right now we are currently in the process of data collection, and I have been able to get heads up from my teams, because we're starting here in West Africa where we have the endemic. So we are currently in the stage of data collection, and we're hoping that in coming weeks, we will be able to get some very viable data that will help us to start with the initial phases of our AI development. So that has been our progress from our end. Thank you.
Okay, Clement, thank you. Thank you very much. It's good to see how quick you were able to go for it after the announcement of the awarded proposals and already start the project. This is very important, absolutely. I see the first one, and I'm sorry because we are so at the beginning, there are so many. the funding funnels are in the marketing pool, right?
Yes,
The other
yes, they
one,
are.
the both.
No, the AFOM is in the ideation pool.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Yes. So very important um, to have these multiple pools, right? So you can working
Yeah,
in
yeah,
one.
it's very exciting. Yes, yes, it is.
That's nice. Okay, thank you very much, Clement.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um, next, I would like to invite Joanna to do the status report.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. So I'm here on behalf of FOTREC. We've won 5 proposals this round, which is very exciting. 4 are well underway, getting all the project environments set up and alignment with all the team members and everything. But one proposal especially is progressing very, very well. Felix is on the call with me as well. So it's in collaboration with Felix and NFT Guild, and it's the Deep Funding Token Ideation Project. So we've already had an expert workshop and then an open community workshop done. And we've honestly, it was way better than expected. We've had a lot of participation and really good insight so far. We are having another open community workshop tomorrow during the town hall. So we have a breakout room set up. So I invite anyone that's interested to come because the conversations are very interesting. And then we're going to finalize with our final expert workshop. So if any of you also feel like you have some good contributions to that, please feel free to reach out to me or Felix as well. And then we're going to close out with a recommendation report, hopefully by mid-December. Yeah, so thank you.
That's a very interesting point as well, because as all of you heard, it's about recommendation, right? And it's possible to have projects in this sense as well, where we are not necessarily deciding, but it's decentralized as well. So you bring the best of the ideation or the idea of something, and then given our strengths and our constraints, we can use that. So I really enjoyed this type of approach that were made. It's not something that, hey, we have to do this, right? If we design this process, we have to do, because sometimes we can't, as we are so lean. But as a recommendation, we can definitely get it, and it's coming from the community in general. So amazing, amazing. I'm really excited to see how this is going to come, because, for instance, normally what we do are town halls and governance calls. I believe many of you didn't had the opportunity to go to governance rounds, where we use it to discuss this, and sometimes even make voting in the call to have this decision more decentralized. But in this way, it seems it's another level of decentralization that we can achieve as well. Nice. Again, really excited to it. Joanna, thank you very much. And I know you are very busy, because it's 5, right? 5 projects. But I really appreciate the fact that you still have time to join us here and do your status report. And for the others, please, if you have contributions, questions, and etc., for the reporters or the teams that are doing the status report, just raise your hand and ask, okay? Nice. So now, Crystal.
Yep. Hi,
Yeah.
everyone.
Hello.
Just a quick update from us. So we are non-citizen, and we proposed content in the marketing pool, so round 3. And our deliverables were 2 commercial videos, 4 blog posts, and 10 social media graphics, all promoting deep funding. And so far, we are aiming to be done everything in the next 3 weeks. So we are almost at the end of the 2 commercial videos. We're starting the blog posts in about a day or 2. So those are 4 blog posts. And then the graphics are currently being worked on the team as well. So I think in about 3 weeks, we should have everything completed on our end. There is just one thing that would be helpful. So the second video that we are working on is aiming to promote specific projects within the different rounds. And we've picked 3 of them, and I've messaged the group chats with those 3. But if the founders or anyone that is currently working on these projects want to sort of volunteer to be featured, we would really appreciate it. So all we would need from you is to look over a few lines that we write about your project and confirm that we accurately capture what you guys are doing. And then that's it. We will feature you in the videos. But yeah, that's my update.
Thank you very much, Crystal. It's going to be fun, absolutely, to have these videos and being able to, well, do the awareness around deep funding and etc. Right? I hope we are going to have more and more and more of this type of media to bring more and more and more teams proposing, submitting, and being awarded as well. It's all about and this is not something that is written in stone yet. It's just we are discussing it. But potentially what might happen is for the marketing pool, it become more of a educational pool, right? Or some sort of thing in this sense, because in the end, it's about education, right? But it's not something that we are yet defined. So it's just to give you a direction where we might be going, which might be interesting. Good. Another point about what Crystal said is we have normally, especially for marketing teams, they have to rely on different teams as well, because it's their work, right? To have this feedback from teams to generate material for the awareness. So whenever you receive this type of request, please give some thought about it, and because it's important even for your project, even if it's not directly related, because by having a good deep funding program, we are going to have a good platform or AI marketplace that is going to benefit you in the end as well. So very important to foster and support projects like Crystal, and we had others before, and we still have more in round 3 as well, following the same direction. Okay. A third point would be sometimes it's good to reach out to me with requests, but unfortunately sometimes the velocity, the speed to answer and etc. Might be daunting. And when we created the Mattermost channel for the awarded teams, and I'm going to add the previous teams as well to this channel, it's nice to have people asking questions there and talking to each other, their necessities, their needs, and etc. Okay, please feel free, as you have this call, for instance, to do things like this. You can also use the channel. We are trying to give you the most tools for you to interact and have a good outcome. Okay. I'm not sure if you saw it. We had, for the past days, the website was down because we were making an update and uploading it with new features. The new features are already on. You can visit there and see. But we also have, I guess, oh, Kings, sorry. I saw now that you asked it here in the chat, right? I would enter. Another topic, but please, Kings, do your status report then. Then I can go.
Okay. Hi, Rafa. Good to be here again. My project, a car rental platform for. We are building a car rental platform more of like Airbnb for car rental. So we are in the addition stage. So milestone. So currently our UI UX design is ready for. We just finished it now. So my team and I, we want to start building our MVP with the most essential features. Like we already have in our chat. We had the idea already. We just wanted to kickstart. So for the round, when we got the funding, then the motivation was there. And my team and I, we swung into action. We said, okay, this is it. Let's keep building. And UI design is ready. And next week, we'll start the back end and the development. So, yeah, that's the quick update and report for Drive Party.
Very good, Kings. Will you be able to say in milestones regarding which are the milestones that you completed or that you are working on at this point?
Yeah, the milestone, like we set about 4 milestones for now. The UI UX design. Then the second one is the product development, where we build MVP with the essential features like signing up, booking, confirmation, payment, and etc. Verification. So then the third one is for beta testing. So we test with some users. So then the last one is we launch. So we are targeting, initially we were targeting 500 users, but we're looking at, like I told you, we want to set a more realistic goal. So we now make it to 250. So when at the end, we should be able to have 250 active users, on our project. So those are the 4 milestones. First is the UI UX design, which we just completed. And the second one, the product development, where we build the product. So the third is testing. Yeah.
Sounds good. Okay, I just received it here. Sarah, please then join us in the status report.
Hi everyone. Let me change my monitor. So my name is Sarah. I'm representing Socius, and we're based in Japan. So it's 1:30 a.m. So I'm a bit sleepy, so please bear with me. All right. So Socius got funded in round 3. So thank you for your support. And our project is called let me see, what is it called? Socius AI-based job matching for social good. Right. So we are matching purpose-driven talent, purpose-driven professionals with impact organizations, impact startups and nonprofits, and using AI to match. And so in terms of our status, we just a few days ago we signed from both sides, I believe, on the contract. So that's taken care of. And in terms of our milestone, the first milestone is about design and architecture, technical architecture and data flow chart. So we completed the design part. So the design part, we've conducted some user interviews, and we've worked with both the engineering team and the design team. And mostly the design team did the work. So basically, we have designs screen on Figma that we can present to the community at some point. That includes how we collect data from the users, so mostly coming from the profiles, and also coming from the interaction, so how they can interact. So that will include thumbs up, thumbs down, basically, whether they like the recommendations or not. So these will feed into the AI and will improve the recommender engine. So that we've already completed, and we are still working on the technical architecture and the data flow chart. That's it for me. So if you have any questions or comments, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I will get the hook here if anyone wants to ask Sarah about his project and his development and so on. Anyone? No? Are you sure, guys, that you don't want to? Okay. We have here support Celeste. Please.
Hey guys, my name is Anna. Nice to meet you all. Our proposal is sentiment analysis model trained in Portuguese, and we are currently working on our data set. So that's our first milestone, our first deliverable. And we are working, one of the concerns that the community brought for us, it was regarding the cultural relevance of our model. So we've been like with some time to think about this problem and how can we address it, how can make it actually be relevant and also be able to understand different like accents in Portuguese. You have a huge range of accents in Portuguese. So we are working on that. And to address this problem, we are working on partnerships with some universities. Those universities, they have a journalism labs. So they are constantly producing news for their students, but real news, like with real facts. So you're trying to use those contents. You have already a good conversation with 2 universities. They are kind of open for that, for sharing the content. We're currently working on some legal stuff because they have like they have some like legal problems with the student content, but we are progressing on bringing that kind of content as well to train our model. We are using some public data sets, but that kind of data that is for our data set that is already basically has some categorization, and it is also able to bring like real world situations for our data set. We think it's going to be very useful. So we are working on those partnerships as well. So using public data sets and working on new sources of data for our model as well. That's our update so far. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Very good, Anna. Well, yeah, I'm open. Yeah, it's very good to see this part of which is a different type of situation that we have. Normally, we are more used to found complete projects, right? In your case, it's a part of something that's already running, and that's why sometimes it has more. It's more consolidated in the market and etc. I am very glad to hear that you are working along with universities. I definitely see this as a target audience for deep funding, not only AI, but deep funding in general and SingularityNet, as we have both people that are willing to fund their projects, but also and also have the background, the right background for it. So it's good to see that even if it's not direct, it's in we are also a bit of spreading towards this environment. I'm really glad to hear this.
There is a chance they will work with us on the dataset categorization as well. They got interested on participating, getting like some students to participate from their side as well. So we are currently working this type of cooperation. Would be the first time for them as well. So we don't know how exactly that's going to be, what it's going to be the structure. But they were very excited about the idea of like taking their students to work on a real world problem and making that happen. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, make some awareness of deep funding there as well. Perhaps we have more submissions from them in the next rounds as well. Good. Okay. Just getting something that Sarah said before in the past presentation. We know that some of you, and now we have, I guess, 6 status report at this point, which is very nice. Normally it's less, 6 or 7. But we understand that some of you are not able to join us in certain times, right? We have only one time for the awarded meeting, the monthly meetings. This with time and considering your feedback and the need that you show and the result of this work, we can definitely discuss perhaps in different time zones where different teams can join and try to solve the situation that generates, because monthly meetings are mainly for teams to connect, right? We have the status report, okay, but it's mainly for teams to connect. And if we have 2, it's going to be difficult. But we understand the fact that there are a lot of time zones, right? So, yeah, that being said, anyone else would like to question, make some input from what you heard from the teams? Any additional comment before I close the recording, or to make a status report as well?
Hi. I actually have one more question. I think we discussed this in our message with Yan and you. So I think it's 2-part. So I guess for all of our projects, at one point, like one of our milestones will be to deliver onto the SNet platform, right? And so in order to clarify, does that mean to deliver onto the testnet or to deliver onto the mainnet?
Well, for the sake of, you mean to consider the milestone delivered, right?
Yeah.
That, unless it's specified, what I don't think is the case, it's specified that it would be delivered in the testnet. I would say that the ideal process is to deliver in the mainnet.
Program basically, and the work packages. There is some fun in there around, and so we're doing that later tonight. We've got our second meeting with the team tonight, and we're very happy with it so far. Our program's got 2 sides. It's got developing and recutting the IP, the content IP, the advisory IP, that will then be used and developed into the AI delivery. And then that side as well, the AI delivery side. So for the interesting bits, then the milestones we're working on, and we're trying to make them more granular because they're quite big and blobby to start with. But that work's underway, as you'll know, Raphael, because I know Dave and Curtis have been in contact with you about it. the other bit from my side on the content IP side is again the AI agents and tools that are out there evolving quite rapidly. So I'm running all of the content that I had originally back through and making it bigger, really bigger and more detailed. So it's a fascinating one how fast these things are moving, as you guys know. So we're happy with the program. We're happy with how it's going, and the team's working on it. That's really all there is to say. So thanks to you guys. That's wonderful. And then my personal bit, as I said about Mattermost, I don't know if it's because it's light, so it's not like being a cave dweller, but I do prefer it to Discord. So far, I found it once I got in, I found it easier to use. So thanks very much for that. And that was it.
Okay. And sorry, you mentioned that you prefer Mattermost than Discord. Is this?
Yeah, personally I do, but
okay.
That's sometimes because when you've got the DApp guys, the app guys, the devs like the structure perhaps of Discord, but it's the color. Partly it's because it's light, and I know my clients prefer working in a lighter space. So we'll see what they think to it. So thanks very much.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks for your input. But I see here, Jan, would you like also to make an input around it?
Yeah, it's very simple. So the reason why we and I explained to you that in the chat, Kevin. The reason why we're doing this is to motivate teams not to stop development at the last stage. So we've done everything. The only thing that needs doing is onboarding on the platform, but we already have our solution. So it's too much trouble. So we try to motivate the teams with this specific milestone to go through the last mile. And the last mile is mainnet. We need your service on mainnet. The whole purpose of deep funding is to grow the platform, is to get your service on mainnet. If we only have services on testnet, it doesn't mean a thing for deep funding. So yeah, it's simple. It's mainnet, so it's for mainnet. And testnet is purely optional. Until very recently, testnet was not actually meant for service providers. It was more to test the platform as a whole. So that is a recent development. I am inquiring the step from testnet to mainnet to see what exactly is involved there. I'll get back to you on that one. And one more thing on that onboarding milestone. The reason that we have that milestone right now is because the truth to be said here, onboarding is still a little bit tricky, and that's an understatement. So we are working hard to improve that soon, and hopefully before the next round. Now, if onboarding will be something like you can do in an hour or in 2 hours, without too much previous knowledge, then I don't think we need that milestone anymore as an extra motivation, and we'll just count on you, or we'll add it to your last milestone or whatever. But we separate it in a separate milestone right now, so that we don't have to keep a whole different milestone reserved for this step, so that it's clear this is for onboarding. So it's a special situation right now because onboarding is not that easy. We have, as you know, a team of people available that will help you onboarding. By the way, shout out to everybody here. If you are planning on onboarding, contact me or Raphael, and we'll get you in touch with the onboarding team, because currently the documentation for onboarding is a little bit outdated. So it's better to get in touch first